In some cases, you might want to work with a large number of threads. In these cases, the ThreadPool class is your best choice. The ThreadPool class is capable of queuing up many tasks and automatically allocating them to threads on your computer. The only disadvantage of the ThreadPool class is that it's not as easy to tell when the threads have finished. I generally prefer to use the thread class when working with multiple threads, as it makes it easier to prevent race conditions. The ThreadPool class is preferable only if you intend to work with very large numbers of threads, as it's able to queue up tasks and allocate them to threads appropriately. To begin this lesson, open the Mathland project from your sample files folder. And open the code behind file of primes.aspx. Now remove the existing threading code. That's every line from thread1 to the while loop that has thread.sleep. You're now going to add code to create 4 threads using the ThreadPool class. Add the following code in the space the code you removed previously occupied. ThreadPool dot queue user work item new wait callback calculate primes new int 2 maximum value divided by 4. This code queues up a task using the ThreadPool class. The ThreadPool class will automatically allocate this task to a thread and execute it. Otherwise, this code is very similar to the code you used for the thread class. This time, you're dividing maximum value by 4 because you're going to use 4 threads, each one doing a quarter of the work. Now add the following code to allocate the other 3 tasks using the ThreadPool class. ThreadPool.queueUserWorkItem new wait callback calculate primes new int maximum value divided by 4 plus 1 maximum value divided by 4 multiplied by 2. ThreadPool.queueUserWorkItem new wait callback calculate primes new int maximum value divided by 4 multiplied by 2 plus 1 maximum value divided by 4 multiplied by 3. And ThreadPool.queueUserWorkItem new wait callback calculate primes new int maximum value divided by 4 times 3 plus 1 maximum value. All 4 threads are now allocated. The only problem is that this code introduces a race condition. You don't have any way of knowing when the tasks are complete. You'll need to add code to wait until all of the threads have finished. The ThreadPool class doesn't provide any information on the status of your threads, so you will need to be a little more creative. Add a public property with the code public int threads completed equals 0. Place this code outside any event handlers. Now, add the following code to the end of the calculatePrimes method. Threads completed ++ This code means that the threads completed property will increase by 1 each time the calculate primes method is completed. When threads completed reaches a value of 4, you will know that all 4 threads have finished. So, add the following code to the button calculate primes click event handler just after your ThreadPool code. While threads completed is less than 4, thread.sleep 1000. This code will wait until threads completed reaches 4, waiting 1 second between checks. This will prevent a race condition. You might think that this code would run even faster if you divided the calculations between even more threads, but this is unlikely to be true. In general, you should only use as many threads as the computer has processors. If there are more threads than processors, your computer must divide tasks between the available processors. In extreme cases, this can even be slower than using a single thread. To limit the number of threads the ThreadPool class creates, you can call the ThreadPool.setMaxThreads method. You may wish to do this to limit the number of threads created by the ThreadPool class to the number of processors in the computer. Now let's test your code. This time, you're using 4 threads to calculate the prime numbers. My computer has 4 processor cores, so this is even faster for me. But it may not be any faster if you have only 1 or 2 cores. Close your web browser now, and close Visual Studio. You've now completed Lesson 3.6. Use the ThreadPool class to manage multiple threads.